for a second. Hey, what's going on, everyone? We are live right now. We're just getting set up here, so just give me a minute, and I will share the link with all of you. Just give me one quick second here, and we will be up and running. Sweet. Oh, there it is. There's the link. I'll post this to my personal Facebook page and several other groups, and we will be good to go. And I know the Laker game is on tonight, so we won't drag this out much longer than it needs to be.
Who are the Lakers?
Oh, wow. Oh, Lord. Who's your team, by the way?
Well, when I watch basketball, I'm a Sixers and an Orlando Magic fan. I've been a Magic fan since they came into the league. So,
okay.
I actually don't even watch the NBA. I only watch football and hockey. I watch the Bills and I watch the Sabres because that's my hometown. And I watch we watch the Seahawks too because my wife is from Seattle, Portland area.
Oh, nice, man. Let's see. All right, the arcade. All right, let me see what's going on over here in the chat. All right, I think we got a few guys watching. What is going on, Adam? What is going on, Disability? What's going on in my comment section? Ah, there we go. All right. I think we have something here. All right, what's going on, fellow subscribers? I wanted to give you guys a few more minutes for those of you guys to join in. It's been a while since I've done a live stream with some other guests here on this channel. And so I just wanted to talk to you guys today about some of the things that has concerned me, some of the things that I've been asked personally, being a admin and moderator in some of the groups. And there was something that happened. It was yesterday, I believe. So we definitely just want to kind of cover that and address it with you guys and just kind of get your thoughts and, see what we could do to possibly clear the air about some things. So probably give it here in a couple of more minutes and we will get right into this. And my today's guest, we do have Steven Techbuzz, and then we also have Joel Gorski. Joel is one of the guys who he does some arcade modding, some other things. I'll have him introduce himself here in the next few minutes. So I hope you guys get something out of this conversation. This is meant to be informative and get your thoughts on some of the topics, things that may concern you. So we're all definitely here to help each other out and have each other's backs and, keep everybody on the straight and narrow.
Okay, I just shared it out there.
Cool, perfect. All right, fellas. So obviously I'm Keo Dyken. I am one of the admins and mods in several of the arcade groups, RetroPie group. I also have my personal Facebook group as well. And, we try to do things to make sure everybody is happy, obviously. Personally, I have not allowed, or I'm really against myself, aftermarket sales in any of the groups I run or affiliated with. Reason being is for one of the issues that we are going to discuss today. It is a battleground out there, but at the same time, one of the things I definitely wanted to do is shed light on my personal feelings about what I think about it. And then there was a gentleman who had a situation happen to him yesterday. His name is Joel. And so I'm going to have him share his thoughts about what happened and maybe some things that could be corrected in the future and how things could work together so everybody's a little bit happier. So my personal thing is, reason why I personally don't like or allow selling is for the extra drama that comes around with it. A lot of the aftermarket sellers that I know, these are people who are doing these projects on their own, which is absolutely fine. But what has happened in the past is there have been flim-flams that come in. And then when the shysters, the people who are trying to swindle people out of their money come in, those kind of conversations carry over to the group. And, people come to the arcade groups, RetroPie group, whatever your group affiliation is, and they want to have a good time. People have enough stress going on in their life. And so they don't want to see business transactions that went awry meant taking up so much space on a page. That's usually what happens with a lot of the third or aftermarket parties. And even it could happen too with some of the more professional companies. And so the reason why I personally don't like it is for reasons like that. If you're going to have a dispute system, go through PayPal, take it up on your own. But then occasionally it is warranted where individuals had something happen to them. And then, of course, they want to spread the word. And, and that's fine because it definitely helps the community and puts people on the alert if they're dealing with somebody who's a little shady or a shyster. And so actually, there's only one gentleman I've ever spoken to in all the groups I've been affiliated with that is licensed to resell. I don't want to mention that guy's name, but if I did, you guys all know who he is. But he is licensed to resell. And so another thing is, too, a lot of the resellers and people who are involved in this aren't licensed resellers. I understand that, we're all doing this for fun. And everyone's here trying to make an extra dollar to help their families out and things like that. So, me personally, I'm cool with all that. It's just all the other undertakings that happens to come with it. And so yesterday, I believe it was yesterday, Joel Gorski and there's another gentleman who's part of the Arcade1UP, the Arcade Paradise group and several other groups. They commented about a particular seller or reseller. And the thing that I believe got their attention, if I'm incorrect about any of this, they'll correct me. But the issue came up was that one of the merchants, the one merchant in particular, I believe is, let me see here, the Arcade Game Room Factory. They have a section on their website where they are, where they mention things about other competitors. And there's nothing wrong with that, whether you're a competitor and you want to say, hey, my product is better than yours. I mean, that's all fair competition. But the issue that I know that came up and that concerned Joel and several other people was that these images are photos that they personally took from their own homes, their own personal arcades, things that they were happy with this other reseller. And it's being mentioned in a way as though it's coming across really negative, but at the same time, these are photos from customers who are happy with another particular merchant. And so, me personally, if you're going to do that, then it should be done in a way where you're cropping out people's names. Maybe you're cropping out, their game rooms and stuff. But I believe in this case, Joel asked the individual to remove it because obviously his name was on it. He knew it was his photo. Copyright, that's another issue because it is his photo and he just didn't want to be associated with that. Joel, is that correct? You want to tell us a little bit about what happened?
Yeah, that's pretty much correct. I got a couple text messages yesterday that people were looking at this website for that reseller, and they were interested in purchasing, and they came across that section of the website where it talks about other competitors, and they seen one of the marquees that I did for one of my customers. Well, it was on one of my customers' arcades. Another reseller did the marquee.
Okay.
And they seen my name on it. So that's what prompted them to tell me. And I went on they screenshotted it to me, and I went to the website, and lo and behold, there it was. I don't know how long that was up there for or anything, and I obviously I sell locally and I do arcades too. So that was a little embarrassing for me.
Which photo I don't know if you can see it on the screen right now, but which photo is yours? Is it still there, or?
It's still there. My name's cropped out of it now after I had to message that person, that reseller about it. The He-Man one.
Oh, it was the He-Man one? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And I know where he got the photo from too. Maybe about a week and a half ago, I was in one of the groups, and there was a discussion about one of the resellers. And so I jumped in that discussion with it and was commenting, and I posted that marquee asking to show me, certain things in that picture of what you think is wrong with it. And that's how I figured out where it came from and who did it.
Okay.
So, yeah.
let me ask you, are you a reseller too? I know you mentioned you do something with arcades as well.
I sell locally. Yeah, so I modify the arcade. I modify the arcades 1UP locally, and then I also I'll do some custom builds too. If the customer wants that, whether it's a bar top or a full size. But that's all local stuff that I just do.
Okay.
So, and then my YouTube page, obviously, where you've seen the video and whatnot too. Those are all the mods that I did that have it on there.
So can I jump in real quick?
Yeah, sure.
So Joel, I want to ask you something. Again, I didn't really know that you were building some arcades here, so I just want to put that out there to everybody that's watching. So you build arcades for people, and if I came to you right now and I said, "Hey Joel, I'd really like you to build me a countercade," the first thing out of your mouth should not be, "Well, you want me to do it because Arcade1UP really makes crappy barcades and such and such reseller makes crappy barcades." Do you think you're going to win my service? Are you going to win my my business by doing that? Just
Absolutely
out of curiosity.
Not. No, absolutely not.
Are you going to take photos of competitors that I have on my Facebook page and put them on your website and tell me why I should not buy your competitors' products?
Absolutely not.
So what I'm trying to figure out is Keo's showing here a lot of these marquees. Like, what's the marketing behind this? Like, what is he trying to accomplish by doing this?
I couldn't even tell you. I honestly don't. I see him promoting himself as the best, and then you go to his website and you see him bashing. If anything, he might be the best at bashing. If anything, I can't really comment on his work because I never used one. I never even affiliated myself with the guy or even had a conversation with him until yesterday. And the only reason why I even messaged him was I basically yelled at him and I told him to take my name off his website. After I called him out publicly in a group that he deleted my post and then muted me in that group. So I'm muted for 3 days, apparently, according to the admin. And then when he responded to why, he told me it's because I had a personal attack on him. But yet my name's on his website, or was on his website.
Well, right there, Keo, right there.
What has still been up there if I never said anything?
That's my picture. Right, that turtle one right there is my picture, and that's his marquee. That's the funny part. That's when I stopped using him and went with, and I'm just going to say it, I went with Angel after this because this was horrible. Scroll down some more, Keo, not right after Popeye. That one right after, that is also my photo, with the tinfoil and the lights. Those lights I bought as replacements because he refused to send me lights because they were like an orangish, I forget what you call them, like a daylight. They were like a rustic look. And he refused, so I bought these on eBay, to put in my arcade. And what ended up happening is Angel saw me post that, and Angel goes, "Hey, brother, I'll send you the LEDs to put in here to make it look good, to fix his marquee, not Angel's marquee, his marquee, because Angel wanted me to be happy with the marquee that I purchased."
So this is funny. So he posted his own work in the Hall of Shame.
Whether he knows it or not, yeah, that's exactly it.
You know what I think that makes the situation worse too is that he's taking the customers' pictures. He's not taking the sellers' pictures. He's taking the customers' pictures.
Right.
He's taking them from the groups and he's putting them to his page. You know, it's not like he's pulling them off the seller's website or the whoever's making them website. You know, that would be something different. These are actual pictures from people that were happy with these. Or if they weren't happy with them, he's still taking them from their site. You know?
Yeah, and the other thing that I want to mention too is looking at this page, there's a number of questions that I have. And a couple of the questions that I have is, did people make modifications to these? See, all I see are a photo. We don't know if any of these photos were taken, and obviously it was Angel, supposedly Angel in a lot of these photos. This is his work. Were these things damaged in shipment? Were these things that he rectified later? Because crap happens, you know what I mean?
I can tell you mine was messed up when I got it. Your point, you're spot on. Mine was modified. I was modifying it to fix it. You're 100% right.
Right. So
mine was straight out of the box into the arcade. So there's nothing wrong with the He-Man one that I have either. It's perfect. My customer loves it too.
Right. So my point being is there's nothing on here that tells a story whether these are happy customers or pissed off customers. We just have a narrative that this was sent to somebody and these look like crap. And all of these photos, from my understanding from most of these photos, these are happy, satisfied customers. And the original person's work is being portrayed in a way that you're happy with it. Joel, you're one of the people. You're happy. Steven, you're happy with some of the work on it. You guys are happy with the work. So I definitely agree that there's definitely a different way to kind of handle this when you're mentioning competitors.
Well, let's talk about this for a second. Okay, Arcade1UP has been making marquees, right? All their machines now are coming with light up marquees. They're awful. I mean, let's just call a spade a spade. The graphics on them are faded in certain places. I just got the Miss Pac-Man machine, and the black is not true black in it. I even talked to Angel. I was like, hey, we need to get another marquee on this. But, like some of these Keo you were showing with the screws, like he was really pointing out like the screw spots and that. He's building this stuff. Some of these customers that Joel has, they might have screw holes in it, but Joel, have they come back to you and said, these have screw holes in it that you can sort of see if the light hits it at the right angle? I'm sure they're like, wow, this is awesome. It's a light up marquee, right?
No, they don't. And actually all the ones that I've had 4 from Angel, none of them have the screw showing. I think he fixed that well before I even purchased one, if those were his. He does provide a screw that does not stick through at all. It goes in perfectly. I actually have one here. I don't know what size the screw is, but I have one of his marble ones sitting right next to me actually, and it's it goes in perfectly. My customers love them though, and that's what keeps the customers coming back, and that's what keeps me happy too. So if the customers love it, of course I'm going to keep going for it.
Yeah, of course. I think one of the other issues for this particular situation is Joel reached out to I believe it's Scott. He reached out to him personally. He tried to handle it offline, and so when he didn't get an answer about his name and photos and stuff being removed, he took it to the Arcade1UP modding group. That group is ran by JC, and so a lot of guys go there for the modding group. There's a lot of resellers there, and so he, spoke his. I don't think I saw your original post. I think another guy named Don, he posted something, and he spoke.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, so Joel spoke his 2 cents, and then he was muted from the group. I think a few other people chimed in. I think Mitza Prophet is it Mr. Profits? Is that his name? I know Mitza, he commented, and several other people did, and they were all removed. And so, people run their groups accordingly and stuff. But I think the issue is what happens when a reseller who has control over the outspoken customer group and things aren't to their liking, like how much control do they have when people are voicing a legitimate concern?
I actually posted in the group first, and then when I got muted and blocked, or not blocked, but when I realized that I was muted and my post was deleted within a minute. It didn't even last that long. That's when I messaged him first, because I thought he was an admin, but I realized he was a moderator. So after I posted and deleted, that's when I messaged him, and I started yelling at him through messaging, basically.
Okay.
And my yelling was pretty much just take my photo and my name off your site. And then I said a few choice words too, but I was mad.
Let's talk about that, because that's the issue at hand, right? It's not about okay, he runs his business one way. He thinks he makes the best marquees. That's fine. That's his opinion. He's allowed to say that, whatever. But a good business person is going to let their products speak for themselves. A good business person is going to go to people like you or like me, and they're going to say, listen, Joel, I want to use your picture because you have a marquee that's really not stellar, but I'm not going to mention who made it, but I'm going to show how much my product is better than that product. Do you care if I put it on the website as long as I give you credit? I won't even use your name. I just want to use your picture. Chances are, Joel, you're going to say to him, well, he did ask, and as long as he doesn't put my name to it and it doesn't bash another person, yeah, go ahead. But he's not doing that.
No, and the thing is, usually what happens is, typically, if you're affiliated with a particular company, they'll ask you like, hey, can I use your photo or your review on our website for promotional materials? You have a case where you may have individuals who are sponsoring Angel, and now their name is being shown in a way where it may look contradictory. So let's say, for example, hypothetically, Tech Buzz and Joel were sponsors of Angel. They were working together, whatever the case might be. A customer of theirs sees it and says, oh, well, why are you talking crap about Angel over here? Because we see your name and your photos, are bashing his work. And you may come and say, well, I didn't agree to that. That's not the image I want to portray. And they have that right. You as a customer have that right. That's why I try not to show, like on my channel, when I do things, use other people's images, use other people's clips or videos, because you do want to be conscious about that type of thing. And even when I did my community splash video that I made for RetroPie, I asked everybody if they wanted to partake in that. I just didn't grab a bunch of photos and slop that together, even though I could have. And, even then at the time, I was like, man, there are a couple of people I didn't get a chance to talk to. I really hope they're okay with. But, that was in a positive light. And that's just the mindset that I have approaching things when using other people's creative content, their images, and that type of deal. Joey, what do you think about that? You okay with that? Do you think that's how it should be done?
Absolutely. I think that's how it should be done. I think it's polite. I think it's courteous. And I think it also helps out the person that you're asking to. The person might feel special because you reached out to them and asked them to do that. I did something similar with that with Angel for the marquees. And that's why I'm able to have aftermarket or marquees for my Arcade1UPs.
Right. And just for clarification, just for clarification, I've never ordered from anybody. And so that's one of the reasons why I wanted to maybe talk about this, because I feel I'm really neutral, because I have not ordered any aftermarket parts from anybody in terms of endorsing. So we're just here to kind of talk about this. And honestly, too, I think that's how a lot of the group moderation and admin should be done, is more from a neutral standpoint, and not to where you're either creating a monopoly or you may look one-sided from one company to another.
Well, I could say I am a little biased to Angel, and that's only because, Keo, I've bought marquees from like 4 or 5 other third-party companies. Okay, I actually, my bias to Angel was only because he had the better product out of all of them, and I spent 60. Angel will tell you, I spent $60 to $80 on each of these marquees, and like I've gotten ones where the images are stretched, and I went back to the company and I said, hey, I'm not going to put a negative review, but can you guys send me a new sticker? I'll slap it on there, because they have that plexiglass on it. And they're like, no, that's how our image is. And I'm like, okay, you're spending $60 or $70 for a stretched, unlicensed image, and you can't even give me a fixed version? I mean, come on, that's simple graphic design. But what we have to remember here, too, is that Angel is not doing this for a living. And I think that's what makes these guys mad. Because he's doing it to help the community. He's doing it for the love and the passion of this. He does not need to do this. Right. And I think, it's a hobby, Joel. You're 100% right.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. It's a hobby.
And I think that really torques these guys, because this is, they're looking at it as like, well, he's stealing our bread and butter.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. Let your product speak for itself.
A long time ago, I knew this was going to cause a problem, because even if you allow selling to some extent, you're going to have one vendor post 2 or 3 times and another vendor is going to post 10 times, and then, you could cause conflicts that way, say, hey, well, somebody's trying to get more attention than me. And me personally, I would say, well, why don't you just start your own group, start your own page, go get your own following, make your own rules, and then be done with it. I do know that, a lot of people do latch on to a lot of the groups because that's where your clientele is and that's where the group is. And that's totally fine. I totally get it. But, one person posts 1 time. Oh, another vendor posts 10 times. And I think me too, I want to make sure I mention this before, I get cut off or, forget. I'm really concerned, and I'm not saying this actually has happened, but it's just something to think about. Considering the fact that we are dealing with people in the community and seeing actions like this, that this business owner is portraying, I've always wondered and would hope it wouldn't happen, where third-party dealers are coming along using the community to get their phone numbers, get their email addresses, get their PayPal information, get their credit card information. And I hope they are maintaining the same confidentiality agreements as a major company. I hope they're not selling this information. I hope this information is secure. I hope they're not giving it out to their friends or family members for whatever possible reason. Because if you're going to operate as a business, these are the same protocols that you should be subjected to if you're going to operate a business. Because I would hope something like that never, ever happened, where other dealers are coming across, and then you find out later your information is being breached or being sold to, whatever the case might be.
Well, I think that's a concern, Keo, with any business, right? That they're taking your information and selling it or doing, things that they shouldn't be doing with it. And there's no real security behind it. I mean, we can't, nobody's going to tell you the truth with that, right? They're going to tell you, yeah, we're not selling it, but anymore, you don't know that. You're just like people always say, well, Facebook's free and no, I don't give you permission. It's like, you gave them permission to say you signed up. They can do anything with any data that you're freely sharing with them, and they're going to make money off you. Do you know why? Because you are the product.
Right, of course.
That's why. And so, I mean, in all honesty, even with these marquees, when you sign up and you buy something from them, any information that's transpired, they can use it in their business. And you're going to get these people that are coming in here in the chat room or maybe watching this later, and they'll say, well, if it's on the internet, it's fair use. To an extent, they're correct. It's fair use. But if, in Joel's case, his name was on it, that's a violation of his privacy. Under good standards, it should have been removed. Period. End of discussion. We shouldn't even be having this discussion. So that leads me into the whole ethics of his business, right? Yeah, it's just unethical, the whole thing.
I've said it. I've been saying it for almost 2 days. It's sloppy. It's super sloppy, is what it is. So I mean, he was paying attention. He obviously wasn't paying attention actually when he posted that to his website. So if he was paying attention, there wouldn't have been an actual person's name in it. Simple as that. Because he doesn't name anybody else. He just says competitors. You know, there's no specific names in there that I'm aware of, at least. On that part of his page, he just says competitors, that he's bashing his own competitors. But we all know who the competitor is that he's bashing. He has a hard on for him. You know, there's no doubt about that at all. I've seen him go back and forth. Well, I've seen him just come out of nowhere and badmouth his name in other conversations in that specific group. Yeah, I don't see Angel saying anything bad about the guy until the guy says something bad about him.
Well, I think the part that again that's really funny is that Steven bought one of the products and is in this Hall of Shame, and it's his work.
That's what I'm flabbergasted by that. I can't believe he puts this in there, and you know, there was another guy that I bought some marquees from, and I even emailed him, and I was like, yeah, you need to fix this, you need to fix that. He accused me of modifying, like they put extra holes in it. They put in extra holes with the new Arcade1UPs where at the bottom the dowels go in. And I'm like, you put the wrong label on the wrong marquee. So now there's extra holes in there. So now when it lights up, I see the holes in the bottom. Like it's bad. But I think ultimately what's going to happen is this, like Q said about, you know, he doesn't allow it in groups about posting. What this is going to end up doing is this is going to hurt the community. That's what it comes down to. Like I used to do different videos on like coin ops and different things like that. And when we did the first episode of Legend Center, the guy from Zen Studios, this was never mentioned before, so this is the first time we're mentioning this, saw it because Al Link had an Arcade1UP on his website that we showed the website for the Pixelcade that had coin ops running. He then sent P-Dubs and I a cease and desist and told us that we either had to remove that or we were going to face legal action from the Legend Center show.
Wow. And
so what that did was P-Dubs and I were like, you know what, forget it. We're not showing anything with coin ops anymore. The community is going to miss out because they've asked us, like, how do you do this in coin ops and how do you do that? And not that we have all the answers, but that's the same thing that's going to happen here with this. This is what's going to happen. You know, we're going to go down this road and people are just going to say, the heck with it. Yeah. You know, they're going to be banned. That's what's going to happen.
Yeah, it's honestly, really unfortunate because I'm sorry, Joe, go ahead.
I was going to say, honestly, I think that guy should actually be taken out of all the groups. You know, we don't know where or how or what groups he's taking those from. You know, if he's in a group and he's taking other people's photos out of those groups, that should be violating the group standards.
I agree.
You know, he should be taken out of all the groups. It doesn't matter who you are, what you contribute to the community. If you're doing something like that and you're taking just other people's photos like that and you're posting them to a page just to bash the work that you're happy with, you should be taken out of all those groups. You should not be allowed in any of them. And if your work is that good, you shouldn't even have to worry about being in any of the groups. Let the people in the group spread your word.
Yeah, I think more to maybe add to that. I think the biggest point or problem with that is that this is a business. Like if this was somebody, you know, just trolling like, hey, look at this, it sucks, you know, whatever, you know, then that's kind of all fair game, you know, they're just somebody running their mouths. But if you're claiming you're a business and then you're painting a narrative with somebody's photo, because honestly, if I looked at this, because up until today, I've never looked at this website. And if I didn't know, you know, you guys or see other people's concerns, I would say, oh, okay, well, these are examples of unhappy customers. And that is totally not the case, according to what you guys are saying and what other people are saying. So there's no narrative here. It's just individual's opinion about the workmanship, but these are potential, obviously, happy customers, happy with the work of another vendor.
Well, I think you're spot on with that. The whole, you know, these are happy customers, and I think that's what, you know, he's missing the point on. You know, yeah, I mean, think about it. When these lighted marquees first came out, I think everybody in the chat room here, and even Joel, you would even admit, it was the Wild West when these light up marquees first came out. Nobody had it down.
Right.
everybody was making mistakes. Angel will tell you, and he'll come out and tell you his marquees weren't the best when they first came out. The difference with Angel was he said, guys, tell me what I'm doing wrong with my marquees and I will fix it. Because it was the Wild West in the beginning, because nobody was making these. So how else do you get a better product? You get it by getting feedback from the community. You get it by people buying it. And that's all I did. If there was light bleed, I threw a little tape over it. Joel, you probably did the same thing. You put a little tape in the corner, black tape. It goes away. Nobody cares.
Yeah, electrical tape.
Yeah, put electrical tape or black duct tape. And I don't know how many marquees I did that to. Where I have the problem is the stretch images.
My first graphic I ever did was an X-Men graphic, and the customer found it. He found it on eBay, actually. I don't know the seller. I don't know anything about it, where he got it, but he got it, he ordered it, and he gave it to me. And I'm like, all right, I'll throw the graphic on for you. No problem at all. And when I put the marquee on, the marquee and the bezel for the screen were completely off, and they were short. So it was a Ninja Turtle with an X-Men graphic. So the green and a quarter of the Ninja Turtle marquee was sticking out. Like you said, black tape. You know, I took the black tape, I used it as the molding, and I covered it up, and it looked perfect.
Right. Yeah, and you know, I saw this some time ago. I want to show you guys a quick video right now. You guys all know who this person is. It's Cool Toy. He did a review from the Arcade Game Factory. And so I noticed this in the video too. And, you know, I didn't say anything about it. It's not my product or anything, but I just find it ironic that this individual has a Hall of Shame or whatever the case might be. And this is, so let me show you guys. This is something I caught in a video that was posted last year. And I'll blow it up for you guys. So you can see Cool Toy's doing this review, and you can see here, I don't know if this was caused by the mail, but you can see the wire. This is his product, not Cool Toy's product, but the Arcade Game Factory. This is their product, and you can see the wires are bent in half. And I know several other guys, they had the same issue too, that they received some product and it was already damaged. And, you know, you don't see other vendors or people trying to chime in and say, hey, don't buy from this company because you'll get workmanship like this. So.
Well, I think that's great to point out, and in all fairness to Arcade Game Factory and anybody else, in the beginning, it was still the Wild West, and they should have just as much leniency with everybody else as people had with them. And at the time, even I think in that video, Doug did say it was a good marquee, but the price was really high, and you had to wait a long period of time to get it.
Right.
But alternatively, if you compared it to, say, the other marquee he had from, I forget where the other place was, it's in that video. It really wasn't. I think Doug even said that, not to put words in his mouth. You have to go back and watch it. But I think he said something like, "Is it worth the extra $20 or $30?" You know. Well, right there, he's in here right now. He says, you know, it was the most messed up marquee he ever had to date. So there you go. I knew.
Hey, Cool Toy, what's up, man?
You know what? Shout out to Cool Toy for your video with the Star Wars trilogy and the 360 flight stick. I've used that 3 times on 3 of my mods. Thank you for your video, man.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, so there's different guys. I forget what Doug. What was the other one that you did that it cost a lot more money? I forget which one it was. He could probably tell you in there, but he says it in the video. And he's trying to show you that, you know, yeah, this one costs more money, but is it really worth your wait? Is it worth getting this? And like I said, you guys saw it. I showed you that I got one from him, and it was jacked up, and he's showing it as, oh, this is a competitor product, and it's his product.
Right.
I think there's a few YouTube videos out there actually about his products that are not very good at all. So you go on YouTube, you just look it up, and then you'll find them. Simple as that.
Yeah, you know, I just think for me, the way, you know, in my heart's intentions when I'm talking to people online and other things is that we should have a community to where there's an even playing field for everybody. And I know that's very difficult. You know, I do agree that, yeah, everybody's product should speak for itself. And, you know, I'm sure there's, you know, friendly competition like, hey, my product's better than yours, that kind of thing. but uh, I think more or less, it's not so much this website or this section, but the actions that followed that. You comment in a group, and then all of a sudden your comments are deleted.
I
Your
agree.
concerns, are just not taken into account. This is something you try to address offline. Joel, tell me, has there been any rectification to address the fact that you've been muted in the group, or why your comment was deleted? Because I know Mitz's comment in his thread is still there, and I think that one now is about 200 and something comments, where other people in the community has agreed with you and your feelings and your thoughts on the situation.
Yeah, I've had a few people reach out, and about what was going on, over the past couple days, obviously about it. The admin, he did reach out to me. He did say that he would take care of it and talk to him. And I did reach out to him earlier because I'm still muted. I don't know how you get unmuted from a group. I've never been muted before. It's my first time, actually. That's what's more funny about it. And he just said that he would talk to him. I sent him a message and I was like, hey, I'm still muted and he's still a moderator. And his response was that I never said that he wouldn't be a moderator and that I would talk to him. Yeah. That was it.
And that's one of the reasons why I wanted to. I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say I could see what's going on in the group. I took myself out of the group last night, and then somebody reached out to me earlier and said that, hey, you should really come back. You were a lot of help in that group. You should really come back. And so I hit the request button to go back in, because that kind of hit me. I'm like, I was in that group. I did help out as much as I could in that group for people that needed help. I'll jump back in there. And right. I jumped back in. So I'm brand new back into it. It says that I'm a new member. I'm still muted.
Wow. And, I want to share some insight with you guys about something. A lot of you guys may not know this, but it takes active members of any group to make a group successful. A lot of the groups that I run, I'm strongly trying to encourage people to like, share, comment, like even in RetroPie Official, like, hey, if you guys got something cool, share it. You guys may not know this, but the group grows based upon your content, your interaction. If there's no interaction in a group, every group has statistics. And so it hurts the group when you start to either mute, delete vocal people who are helping other people. I'm always looking for strong individuals who are well knowledge in their genre to either be a admin, a mod, help out, because you guys all do this stuff for free. Myself, we've all been there. In fact, in some cases, you may comment or contribute more than the admins or the moderators of the group. And so that's really disheartening when you put in so much information, you feel like you're not getting paid. And then all of a sudden you're silenced after you just contributed to the group to help. That helps their analytics, that helps other people. Maybe people are taking your design idea, whatever the case might be, and making money off of it. But that really hurts the group. And that's not good for somebody, like that. He's not somebody who was just leeching onto the group, came in with a bunch of questions and never helped anybody. He's an active member. And so that, again, I've had to delete people, kick them, and I really hate doing that. But especially for people who are very active, I look for those people to be moderators because they know what's up. You cannot have a group on Facebook if you do not have knowledgeable people in those groups, because you don't want to have people who are admins and moderators and they have no clue what they're talking about, sharing false information, bad advice. It does not help. And so in this situation, no, I personally don't think it's not my group or anything. It should have definitely or should be handled differently, especially when you have active members giving to the community for free.
Okay, so JD has Tulsa Arcades, okay, and he's the admin, correct?
JC, yes.
Yeah, okay. So JC, whether he has Tulsa Arcades or anybody else has anything, he, as a group owner, needs to be completely unbiased. Period.
Yeah.
Okay, it doesn't matter if Angel's in the group. It doesn't matter if Scott's in the group or anybody else. Angel or JC as the group owner needs to allow everything straight down the middle. If JC's going to post something, if Scott's going to post something, if Angel's going to, everything has to be exactly the same and equal. As a group owner, that's how it should be. If you're going to allow these guys to promote their product, everybody gets to promote their product. If you're not going to let everybody, then nobody gets to promote it, because what you're doing is you're making it look bad for the community.
Yeah, and I think too, Mark Jones, he invited me to be the man in his Arcade1UP fan group. And I believe at one point, I know he was okay with third-party sellers. And then I can't remember if he went away from that or he stopped doing it because there was issues with it. So, yeah, this isn't the only group that's had these things. And I've primarily noticed this more or less with I would say the Arcade1UP third-party guys or the arcade third-party guys groups in general. Joel, do you have anything else to really add to this, man? I'm glad you were able to, come on and, you're level-headed and communicate exactly what's been going on.
Not really too much. That was just, it was one of the most active groups that I was in, for myself,
Right.
at least, posting a couple times a day and whatnot. So responding to people, helping them out, and then they get muted like that. It was just, I don't know. It felt disrespectful back to me. That's all. I think that's what got me the most. There's other groups out there that I'm part of that are clearly better, and that I would love to help out in and be part of too.
Yep.
So, which I'm trying to contribute as much to those as I can also. But yeah, I started off in that group. I don't advertise myself in there. I post my work, and I post videos to help out other people, but I don't really advertise. I've gotten a couple customers out of there, but it's all been private things. But I think that's just what hit home the most, that, I was helping out in that group a lot, probably one of the most active helpers. And then I get muted because of that. So he knows exactly who I am.
All right. So guys, over to your right, these are some of the groups I'm affiliated with. Most of those are ones that I'm also either admin or mod in. And Joel, you're more than welcome to join, especially RetroPie Official. We have over 22,000 members there. 22,000 members there. Supreme RetroPie has about 5,000. My personal group, which is the Keodaiken Arcade PC Mods and stuff, which is an outlet of my YouTube channel, we have about 241 guys over there. Mark Jones's group, which is I didn't list it there. It's the Arcade 3/4 fan clubs or whatever. He has about 6,000 guys, 5,000 guys over there. And then the other group that I run too is Arcade Paradise. Run that with a few other guys. You're more than welcome to join any one of these groups. Post all your help, because I can tell you, I appreciate that kind of stuff. Because when you see a group active and people are getting in there answering the questions of other people, you're more than welcome to join, man. So we'd be glad
jumping in. I'm jumping in all of them.
Yeah, and then also too, Arcade Wizards. I think that's ran by Q Lock. That's one of Bobby's guys, Bobby Vu, and also Angel's guys. They'd be glad to have you over there. So
I'm in the Wizards actually. B Kong actually invited me into the Wizards, and I took the invitation. Can't say any better things about that guy. One of the nicest guys I've ever talked to.
Yeah, there's one of the homies right there, Dirty Gaming. He definitely appreciates your commentary and stuff. But I'm telling you, as far as like RetroPie Official and some of the other groups I'm affiliated with, I love to see people like you join in who know what they're talking about, who get their hands dirty, who, and I'm going to tell you guys this, my own personal thing. I don't care too much about subscriber counts. I love to see people who get their hands dirty, who are in the trenches, digging into the community, helping others and getting involved. That's what it's all about, because that is the community, are the people who are there to answer your questions day in and day out on their own bottom dollar, not getting paid to do nothing except enjoy your success.
And that's one of the reasons why we promoted Angel even on our show and run a commercial for him, only because the guy has been nothing but awesome to the community. He's helped out people. He's given back to people. He's fixed things that weren't even his problem. Wasn't even with his product. And even, getting Bobby Vu on the show, different people like that, because these are the people we want to promote. You
Yep.
know, Cool Toy will tell you, you know, myself, Glenn, we want to show these guys because these are the people in the community like yourself and some of these other guys in here that are, you know, doing this stuff. They're the ones that are overlooked because
Yep.
all these other clowns are out there. And I'm sorry, I'm going to say it, and I'll probably get chewed up for it, but all these other clowns out there are overshadowing them because they're giving out false information. And I'm sorry, it's like, I'm tired of it.
Yeah, it is, especially when you're in the trenches and you really know what's going on. And you know, I just wanted to say, I know some people thought this may have been a I don't want to say the B word, but a B fest on here. I don't run that type of channel. And when you see your brother men in the trenches, you know, if they have a smaller YouTube channel or a gathering, you should kind of reach out and help them out. And, you know, that's one reason why I wanted to invite Joel on today, because, you know, I think he has like maybe 30 or 40 subscribers and maybe his point wasn't really coming across. And he posted it, you know, I shared his video too in Arcade Paradise, but he just needed a forum to, you know, explain his heart, explain what he's coming from as a customer. Remember, even if you're okay with this, you're not okay with it, you think this is drama, remember, you have a customer who doesn't want to be treated in this manner. They just want to be left out of some stuff, you know? And so I think that there should be a different decorum there. But yeah, there is a lot of false information out there. You know, a lot of people who have more subscriber counts and stuff, but they're not really in the trenches. You know, they're not. I've seen it. I mean, I could tell you a few years ago, I was probably one of the first guys, or actually the guy that introduced waterproofing servos, waterproofing electronics to the RC car industry. That was back about 9 years ago. I was one of the first guys to do that because you didn't need black tape or any of that other stuff. It didn't affect any heating. So I was one of the first guys to do it. I have the screenshots to show it. So I showed that to Traxxas and Castle Creations. Castle Creations creates the Mamba Monster. But I think it was about a year and a half, maybe 2 years after that, another YouTuber picked up the same process, and he has like 300,000 views. So all I'm saying is, you know, you shouldn't look at view counts. You know, you're helping the community. Never downplay your success or your effect that you're having, even if you're not recognized or getting the attention that you think you should, or other people in the community think that you should. And like I said, right now, that video from somebody else has about over 300,000 views. I got 5,000. And I was the one who introduced it to the RC car industry.
You know, I think the support in this community is a lot higher than a lot of the haters, though, too. I've definitely felt more support and gotten more help than I have anything being bashed or anything else. Yeah. And I think that's the best part about doing this community. If you see somebody in one of these groups that needs help, help them. If you see somebody that hasn't commented on it, it's 16 hours old, because we can see the time frames, help them. Send them a message if you know what to do. Even if you don't, see if you can troubleshoot it with them. The person's looking for help, and that's why they join these groups too. There's a lot of first timers, a lot of people that don't know what they're doing, a lot of people that don't even look at YouTube. Help them out.
Right.
They're going to appreciate that more than anything.
Right. Steven, you got anything left to say really in closing?
No, man, I think this is great that you did this, and it's not, again, it's, you know, nobody's bashing nobody here. It's just, you got to look at it, you know, on the straight and narrow here, and you know, just respect people's wishes. If you ask to have something removed, remove it. Be done with it. Business or no business.
Right. And one of the things I definitely want to say in closing too is if you're another social media guy out there, whether you're on YouTube, Facebook, you know, Instagram, try to, you know, if you can, you see somebody else either struggling or need a voice or some issues that need to be addressed, you know, don't be scared to maybe share your platform to maybe get the word out. You know, that really helps people because, you know, I think people will really respect the fact, like, even if they don't like your content, they at least have respect for you as a human being and a person, how you approach things, to really shed light on certain things. Anything else, man? Anything else you guys want to add? I definitely want to thank you guys for joining here today, because you know, and Tech Buzz, thank you for taking out your time on your Sunday to watch my Lakers beat down another team out there.
Who are the Lakers again?
Oh wow, well, they're the guys who are going for their 17th championship tonight.
Basket round ball. That's what they call that, right? Round ball.
Yeah,
Foosball?
Definitely.
Hey guys, thank you so much for having me on. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, Joe, make sure you join our groups. Anybody listening, make sure you guys join one of the groups. You'll be loved there because I'm always encouraging people to share, especially like in RetroPie Visual, some of the other groups. I mean, we're not sticks in the mud. I mean, really, let's just have fun here, guys. And so we love looking at cool mods and other things that you guys are doing out there. And we're definitely here to help you out. All right, guys, you guys have a good night. I'm going to go watch my Laker game. Peace out.
Good night, guys.
All right.
Later.